November 16, 1984. Much like John Dillinger, police swept in on the suspect outside of a movie theater. Dillinger would fight back, but this man wouldn't and would be taken into custody. The charge? The assault and kidnapping of 17-year-old Lisa McVeigh. This would lead to an uncovering of a slew of victims in the Tampa Bay area. On this episode of Chasing Killers, we'll be exploring the life and death of Bobby Joe Long. Let's get into it. Robert Joseph Long, better known as Bobby Joe Long, was born in Canova, West Virginia, located just down the Ohio River from Huntington, West Virginia. Long was born with Klinefelter syndrome, a genetic condition that produces an additional copy of an X chromosome. The condition results in issues with fertility and other sexual markers. Long was a perfect example of a man with mommy issues. His relationship with her while he was growing up was very dysfunctional. He would observe her bringing various men into the home, and even slept in the same bed as her into his teenage years. Throughout his life, he would suffer several head injuries, one of which occurred after falling off of a swing, and another was a motorcycle accident. Traumatic brain injuries, or TBIs, have been shown to change a person's personality, often becoming quick-tempered. Long had started a family and was married from 1974 to 1980 to his high school sweetheart. The union produced 2 children. Long would abuse his wife. During one incident, he slammed her head against a television. She said that he threatened her, telling her, "When you drive yourself to get your stitches, if you tell them what really happened, I'll kill you when you get home." Following his divorce, he likely knew he could now fulfill his deepest unsettling fantasies. Long would try to live a normal life and was a law-abiding citizen until 28 years old. It is believed he would commit his first crime in 1981. Long would become infamous for contacting women through classified ads and then assaulting them. Over the next 3 years, he would terrorize the Tampa Bay area. Long would be a regular at the known prostitution area in town, cruising down Nebraska Avenue on a regular basis. Like most serial killers, he would target those women that many don't care about, transients and streetwalkers. He would often dump the bodies of his victims in a rural wooded area, leaving them to decompose. Police would break the case in November 1984, when Lisa McVeigh was able to provide police with a description of the suspect's house and car. Long released McVeigh after assaulting her. Perhaps he had a change of heart. Following his arrest at the movie theater, police would interrogate him. Here they would make a mistake that would possibly lead to a dismissal. During questioning, Long knew the police were on to him. He would request an attorney, but police would continue with their questions, and Long would confess to 8 murders. The question of admissibility of the confession would be fought during appeal. For most of the murders, the case would never make it to trial. He would plead guilty to 8 murders and receive a life sentence. The list of his victims would include Artis Wick, Nguyen Long, Michelle Sims, Elizabeth Ludenbeck, Vicki Elliott, Chanel Williams, Karen Dinsfriend, Kimberly Hoops, Virginia Johnson, and Kim Swan. Following the sentence, the state would charge him with another murder and seek the death penalty. And in July 1986, he would be found guilty. The sentence? Death. If you enjoy my death row profiles, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of my new content. Long would be sent to Florida State Prison, and his time on death row would begin. At this time, another infamous serial killer was also on death row in Florida, Ted Bundy. Although Bundy wouldn't last much longer, Long's journey on death row would last decades. Long would file his appeals, and one conviction would be overturned due to the ill-gotten confession. The others would stand, including his death sentence. By April 2019, all of his appeals to the Florida State Supreme Court and the United States Supreme Court were exhausted. May 23, 2019. This would be the last day on Earth for Long. It was also the first execution authorized by Governor Ron DeSantis. For his last meal, Long would request roast beef, bacon, French fries, and soda, which he consumed at 9:30 a.m. Later that evening, he would walk into the death chamber. The lethal injection would commence, and at 7 p.m., he would be pronounced dead. Long would make no final statement, but one of the victims, Lisa McVeigh, would watch him die. She would say, "I wanted to look him in the eye. I wanted to be the first person he saw. Unfortunately, he didn't open his eyes." This was another Chasing Killers profile. Thanks for watching. See you next time.